Generation 9 has introduced us to quite a few new things. Completely new Pokémon, a new region, regional fakes, paradox forms, Pokémon with different forms, and an open world game. Especially regional fakes and paradox forms have left a huge impression in the community and inspired many artists to try out these concepts as well. Today I wanted to try out something a little different. Not paradox forms or regional fakes, but new forms of Tatsugiri. Tatsugiri's different forms are based on different sushis. I wondered what would happen if previous generations and regions had their own regional Tatsugiris. Right now I created 11 designs for the main important parts of the Pokémon world, and I will show them to you in 3 videos. Just letting you know that not all of the drawing followed the design convention of Tatsugiri 100%, a few of them are based on fish or fish-shaped food, but others have nothing to do with it at all. But I hope you still have fun. The first region is Kanto, from Generation 1, which is based on a region in Japan with the same name, Kanto, where you can find several gigantic cities like the capital Tokyo, Yokohama or Kawasaki. The food I chose as a base for this form is taiyaki, a fish-shaped cake. So for this fake one I just looked up food from Kanto and went through a few different websites until I found the taiyaki, which was just perfect for a regional variant of Tatsugiri. This fish-shaped cake is filled with a sweet bean paste and is usually served during winter festivals in Japan. I tried to add elements of the cake into the design, like the pattern around the eye, a few scales on the belly that are also shaped like waves, and the fins are basically a one-to-one translation. There is a darker rim around it like in the reference picture. I also wanted to include the bean paste without making the design transparent or just adding some spots on the body. So I gave it a top fin looking like some bean paste bubbling out of it, even though it also looks a bit like a wig, to be honest. And here it is, Kantonian Tatsugiri. It is a water and fire type. The types of the Tatsugiris were hard to decide, but this one was rather easy. Since it is based on a baked good and is usually served warm, I just went with the fire typing. Following Kanto is Generation 2 with the new region Johto. This region is based on Kansai or Kinki. According to Wikipedia, both of these terms are used. The main inspiration for this part is the yatsuhashi with a little bit of takoyaki. Also sorry for the pronunciation, I can't speak Japanese, so I'm trying my best. The food for this variant has nothing to do with fish in any way. However, I thought the overall triangular shape and the slightly transparent dough could make for a cool fake one. Yatsuhashi are small Japanese confects, which are often eaten while drinking tea. They are made out of rice powder, sugar and cinnamon, and an atsuki bean. As you can see, this form looks nearly identical to its real-life inspiration, with a small addition of a tail and a bean fin. Since the top looks a bit empty, I added 3 white stripes I saw on these takoyaki balls. The shape of this Tatsugiri is definitely completely different than the official ones, but I think you can still see what it's supposed to be. Also, the further we go with these designs, the wilder the body shapes will get, so yeah, just as a heads up. There it is, Johto Tatsugiri. It's a water and fairy type. I felt the design didn't look like any type, to be honest, and I couldn't justify any typing besides fairy, so it's a water and fairy type. Chronologically next is the Hoenn region, which is based on the island Kyushu. The food I chose for this design is the tobio, aka the flying fish. Apparently the city Kagoshima, which is located in Kyushu, is known for its different kind of seafoods, including the tobio. I should have googled these terms before I made the script. The internet tells me it's tobio, so I hope that's correct. The design didn't really turn out how I imagined it, to be honest. In one of my reference pictures you saw the head of a flying fish and a few pieces of meat around it. That was the look I wanted to go for, but adding spikes around its neck was a bit weird looking and pretty impractical, so instead I gave it multiple fins. Its tail is shaped like some sort of green garnish, and the green parts on the fins are meant to look like the sauce, also from the reference picture. The pattern around its eye are supposed to represent speed lines. And here it is, Tatsugiri from the Hoenn region. It is a water and flying type. I mean, it's based on a flying fish, so that was pretty easy. I imagine these fakemon could be caught in a small minigame where you have to throw Pokeballs at them, as they're just jumping out of the water. And the last region for today is Sinnoh, which is based on Hokkaido. As soon as I saw a sliced Yubari King melon, I knew I wanted this region's Tatsugiri being based on it. Something about the shape just screamed fish to me, I don't know why. These melons are being cultivated in greenhouses in the city Yubari, explaining the name. Another food from Hokkaido that's rather popular is its ice cream. It's probably not too apparent if you don't know it, but I added a small ice cream crown on its head, referencing the king part of the Yubari King melon and the Hokkaido ice cream. The shape maybe looks a bit too much like a whale and not enough like a Tatsugiri, but I found it's cute, so I went with it. I didn't give it fins, that was on purpose because I imagined it just hopping around on the ground while wiping forth and back. The tail is resembling some toothpicks, which I used to eat the melon pieces. And the last fakemon for today, Sinnoh Tatsugiri. I contemplated giving this form the water and ice type because of the ice cream until I realized that the water and grass type is way more obvious and just makes more sense, so I went with that. So these are all the regional variants I can cover today. What do you think about them and which one was your favorite? Please let me know in the comments down below. I personally think I'm a bit torn between Kanto, Johto and Sinnoh and I can't really decide. So yeah, that's my opinion on them. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss the future parts of this little series. Hope you had fun and see you in the comments.